Hello everyone, Tupolov here. Today I'm going to show you how to import models into Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So, in this tutorial, I'm going to be using the latest version of Blender, which is Blender 2.9. Or no, not 2.9, 3.0.0. And so, your steps might have to change a little bit if you're using another 3D modeling program, but the general process is the same. And so let's begin by opening up our tools folder, which you can download in the description. Going into UModel, opening up UModel, change your directory to the game, then go into FNaF 9, content, packs, select folder, and click OK. So first I'm going to show you guys how to actually get a working model into your 3D editing program, and then how to actually import it into the game. So I first want to, for example, I'm just going to replace Freddy. So his model's under Model Assets, Cars, Freddy, and if I double click on this, it's going to ask me for an AES key. If you open the text file inside the UModel folder, you get the AES key. Just copy and paste that in, and then it's going to ask you for an Unreal Engine version. Just click 4.25, then boom. Let me just go clear this. So first of all, what you're gonna do is click export current object, and okay, the first thing you're gonna do is export a GLTF. And if you go into file, into your wherever you dumped it, you should find a GLTF. And so we're gonna hop into Blender, delete everything, file, import, GLTF, desktop, and we're gonna go. Now, this is fine if you want just the model, but there's an issue where if you just went ahead with this, imported it into the game, you'd have your model show up like a stick figure once you get into the game. So what we need to do is use a skeleton from the PSK format. And now the reason why we didn't get the PSK initially is because the mesh that you get with the GLTF is actually better than the mesh you get with the PSK. It has better normals and it preserves vertex colors, which could be important depending on the model or game. And so let's export the PSK. If you go to Tools, Export Current Objects, and then change it to Actor X PSK, and you click OK. Now, here, for some reason, for certain models, UModel just refuses to export a PSK and instead gives you a PSKX. You can't use a PSKX as it won't work. So if you run into this issue like I am right now, what you should do is click Export LODs right here, click OK, and just wait for the export. You're gonna get your PSKs. So now, once you have your PSK, you're gonna go into your tools, old Noesis. We're gonna open that up. And now we're just gonna drag whatever PSK in. I'm gonna drag in the smallest one. and then boom. So after that, we're gonna go into File, Export. You're gonna want to change the type to FBX, and in the advanced options, you're gonna want to type in dash FBX new export and dash rotate 90 space 00 space 00 export, and this LOD4 out.fbx is what we're going to import into Blender right now. So if we go into File, import FBX, boom, we got our FBX. So now I'm going to move him over here. I'm going to click on his mesh, delete it, or actually, a better idea would be to just delete all the meshes from here. So once you've done that, what you're going to do is take this guy's mesh over here. You want to drag it over into here, and then do it again, but this time hold shift, and then boom. Next you're gonna want to click on the mesh, go to this wrench over here, the properties, and where it says the object, change it to this armature. And so basically what you're doing is transferring it to a different skeleton. You're gonna right click, delete hierarchy here, and then I'm gonna just move this back. Make sure when you assign the armature that you don't move it. Oh no. Okay. Okay, don't be a rookie like me and forget to move the armature back before parenting it. So shift, click, and then you move it over. Delete the old one, go into the modifiers, add the armature. And so now, boom, you have your Freddy. If you go into the armature, the armature properties, viewport display in front, you should see that the bones aren't pointing the right way. That's normal, and that means it's working. So if I were to enter pose mode, I can mess around with Freddy's model. So now I'm just gonna open up my edited model, and so we're gonna go over exporting. So you're gonna just want to export as FBX. You're gonna want to call your FBX the same thing the game calls it inside of the actual game itself. So rig_glamrock Freddy. And so inside your options, you're going to want to turn off bake animation, and under armature, this is very, very important, turn off add leaf bones. Okay, once you're done, you're going to want to go into the description and download the custom build of Unreal 4.25 Plus that we uploaded. And you're just going to go into engine, binaries, Win64, and you're gonna run UE4editor.exe. If you use the Unreal downloaded from the Epic Games launcher, it's going to crash the game on boot. It's gonna give you like a serialization error. Now, once you have Unreal 4 open, you're gonna want to create an empty project called FNaF 9. Here I already have one, so I'm just gonna open it. Okay, I'm gonna remove all my testing stuff so I can show you. Okay, so now that we have it deleted, let's begin. You're gonna wanna go back to U model. I accidentally closed it, so give me a moment. Okay, so once you're in UModel, you're going to have to copy the same path that the game uses. So, for example, it's Freddy's model is going to be inside of model assets, cars, Freddy. So let's recreate that path inside of Unreal Engine. Model underscore assets, cars, Freddy. So once we have our path, we're gonna just drag in our FBX. And now, once you have this menu open, you're going to want to click Show Advanced. You want to ensure that Import Normals and Tangents is on. And then you're going to want to make sure that Create New Materials is on. If you already imported a model using the same materials, I actually recommend you click Do Not Create Materials, because then Unreal will automatically search for existing materials. But since we don't have any existing materials, we're going to click Create New. So after that, import all. Okay, now I have it imported. And sorry for the cut back there. I accidentally messed up my export. Well, really my model, but I digress. So first, here's a very important concept we need to understand. We have to replicate all the paths that the game uses. So for now, let's work on that. I'm gonna open up the model inside of UModel. And now, if you look at where it says the skeleton, it's actually called rig underscore glamrock underscore animatronic underscore master underscore skeleton. And if we search for that, you can actually see that it's inside of the cars folder and not Freddy. So what that means is that we gotta take this and we gotta move it up here, rename it, to rig underscore glamrock underscore animatronic underscore master underscore skeleton. That looks right to me. Our physics asset seems to have the right name. And for the materials in this game, the vast majority of materials is inside the shading assets underscore or shading assets materials folder. If we look at this. So I'm gonna make a new folder. We're gonna call it shading assets materials. And we're gonna take our Freddy materials and move them into here. And another note on materials, if you're changing a character like Freddy, or like any of the animatronics really, the game swaps out their materials like during gameplay. And if that happens, the order of the materials needs to be the same, because if they get reordered, the game's gonna change a different material, because it works off of what index the material's actually in. And so if you add any new materials like I did here, make sure you put them in at the end. Hey guys, Editing Tupolov here. Here in the video, I actually have my materials wrong. I ended up fixing them later, off camera, but here in the video, they're wrong, so don't use what I have here for reference. And if you remove a material, just don't actually remove it from the model, just stop using it. And these two materials are new ones, and later on in the video I'm going to tell you guys how to handle that. But for now, I'm just going to make another materials folder, and I'm just going to dump them in here. And here's a note. If the game looks for a material and it doesn't exist, it's not gonna crash. You're just gonna get like a checkerboard texture. And so now that everything looks right, we're gonna go to File, Cook Content for Windows. And here's a side note while it's cooking. You may find an issue when you're cooking for the first time in a new build of Unreal that it takes a super long time to cook. Well, don't worry, it's not broken. It just takes a long time when you're doing it for the first time. Okay, now that we're done cooking, let's open up the UE4 project. Saved. Cooked. And you're gonna see a Windows No Editor folder. Ignore these two. This was some testing. I recommend you just copy and paste. Rename this to whatever your mod's gonna be called. And delete everything except your mesh. Okay. And now open up the tools folder. Unreal Pack. Then drag it on to Unreal Pack with compression. Next up, open up Enverum. If you want to see how to set it up, go watch my texture tutorial. It's pretty easy. You just click setup and it's pretty self-explanatory. Now just click create new mod. I'm gonna call it Jack Frost Freddy. Add your pack. Next, click launch. Now, if your game crashes when it's still a black screen, that means you probably used the wrong version of Unreal. You're gonna get like a serialization error and it's gonna say it expected a different size. But here, it worked, so we are good.
Showtime already?
There we go.
I am experiencing a malfunction. The recharge cycle is not complete.
Shh! Will you shut up?
Who said that?
I did.
Now,
Down here.
Down where? I still do not see you.
Okay.
you see
listen.
how the face is
I'm
checkerboarded.
sleeping.
Now here comes the next part of the tutorial. The custom material editing. Now, you saw these two materials for the cloth and the face. We're going to make, we are going to make our own custom materials. So, or not custom, but edited materials. We're gonna edit the vanilla ones. So I'm just gonna call this mjack_cloth. And I'm gonna call this one m_jack_snow. And once I do that, I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna call it textures. And I'm gonna put my pre-made textures into here. I'm not going to go into like how to make these kinds of maps, because that could honestly be its own video. But for now, I'm just gonna go into here, texture group, character, save. I'm gonna go into here, texture group, character, boom. I'm going to go into here, texture group, character normal map. And for this one, I'm going to put character, and I'm going to search up for sRGB and turn that off. Alright. Now, once I got this, I'm gonna go cook content again. Hello guys. Sorry for the new take. Blender decided to absolutely destroy my model, and so I had to redo it, and then I ran into some issues, but we have it fixed now. Let me get into the material editing part. So, after you cooked it, you're going to have to edit one of the vanilla materials into your own. So this one I've already edited, but I'll show you the process for the other material I have left. Well, first of all, we need to find a material to use. So personally, I used emissive underscore Freddy, and so you're just gonna want to click on it, right click, save packages, and that'll give you a U asset and a U export. Alright, now that I've got the U asset and the U export, I'm just gonna copy paste it, and I'm going to rename it to what my material is called, like so. Next, you're gonna want to open the tools folder, asset editor. You're gonna click open, and you're gonna want to open your U asset. So pretty much what you're gonna do is go through all of these texture names and manually rename them. And you also have to rename the material path, which is the material itself. So here it has the old path, so now I just need to change it to the new one. And now that I've edited the name up here, I'm going to go down here, and you'll see the name again, this time without the path. I need to find it. I am very blind. There you go. And now, all these other materials, I need to replace the path. Okay, now that I have all of these renamed, we're going to scroll down over here, and we're going to rename all of these. And these. Okay, now that you've renamed everything, you're pretty much done editing the material. If you look in here, everything should update to all the new names you added. I recommend you go and you double check that you have everything correct. So, after that, save, close that up. Then you're going to want to go back to your root folder, open the tools, Unreal Pack, drag the folder onto Unreal Pack with compression, You're gonna want to reopen Unverum. You're gonna want to replace the pack from earlier, and let's click launch. Now, it should be noted that Unreal can be very, very, very finicky at times with how you put your paths in your materials. So if something's not working, I recommend you double and even triple check it just to make sure. It's kind of an arduous process, but it's what you need to do. Alright, and there we go. I had to do a little cut
The recharge cycle is
because
not complete.
Will you shut
I accidentally
up?
named
Who
one of
said
the
that?
materials
I
wrong,
did.
but now we've
Down
got it
here.
working.
Down where? I still
I
do
know
not
this is
see
a
you.
kind of
listen.
long, arduous
We're
process,
sleeping,
but
so I opened the stomach hatch and climbed inside.
I promise if you
Stomach
keep
hatch.
at it, it'll
Place is
actually be
reserved for
easy once you get
oversized
the
birthday
basics
cakes
down.
and pinatas.
It's
It is not a
just
safe
kind
play
of a
area.
long process to do for the first time. As always,
There
if you've
you
had
are.
any questions, I recommend you visit our Discord server,
Scanning complete. How odd.
where we
Your
have
guest
plenty of
profile
channels where
is
we'll be able to
unknown
help
to
you
me.
out.
Who are you?
If you want, you could also check my other tutorials on
Gregory.
YouTube. Well,
Gregory.
this has been Tupilov, signing off.